Hello and welcome everyone to another live session of our Ask Us Anything. Today is going to be a great live session, I believe. So for the people or any customers or any dentists out there or dental lab technicians out there who are interested in the Roland system, however you don't have a really great or full idea of what the milling machines have to offer, well, I hope that this live session will be able to explain and answer those questions that you may have. So just to begin as well, if you do have any questions during this live stream, please feel free to send us a message or drop us a comment with any of your questions, and we will be more than happy to answer any of your questions before we end today's live session. Okay, so to begin, alright, over here we have the dental milling overview for the Roland DG dental machines. Okay, so over here on our left, this is what we have is the DWX52DCi. We have the DWX52D over here, and this is the DWX42W, and we have the DWX4. So there is quite a range of dental millers with the Roland system, and the different milling machine will be exactly what depends on your needs and your wants of what you are trying to produce, whether it's an in-house capability or if it's a full-fledged dental laboratory that is doing high volume. The Roland dental millers has the solution for you. So on the left, just to explain some of the key features for the DWX52DCi is that it comes actually with a Dwindex performance monitoring software to monitor your ROI. And what this is actually, the I that it stands for is actually index. Okay, so it has actually a very smart software that comes with that. However, you will also notice that on the left side of the machine there is another compartment which is the same size of the milling machine, and this is where the DC comes in. So the DC for the milling machine is actually called the disc changer. So the DWX52DCi is the disc changer index. So this is top of the range for the Roland DWX series. For the DWX-DCi, it also comes with a material adapter rack, which is included for a tidy and efficient work area, plus a 6-slot automatic disc changer, 15-station automatic tool changer, and intelligent tool control. And later in this live stream, I will go along those and you will be able to understand more of what I am talking about for the different machines. Then on here we have the DWX52D. As you see, it is without the DC, so there is no automatic disc changer for this milling machine. However, the DWX52D does come with the new snap-on clamp system, which 6 included adapters to maximize material usage and reduce setup time. Adapter rack is also included to store materials and adaptively securely enhanced V-panel with intelligent tool control function to assist tool life management as well. Oops. Okay, so that's for the DWX52D. Then next we have the DWX42W. And the DWX42W is a high-speed precision milling of high aesthetic glass ceramics and composite resin. So you probably understand that the composite resin, glass ceramics, this is more of your in-house chairside miller for your dental practice. As you are able to mill your glass ceramics and your composite resins that you can do same-day crowns. Okay. And then for the next and last mill that we have here, the DWX4, this is the dental mill that is a dry unit. So the DWX42W, which stands for wet, the DWX4 without the W is the dry, and it is the ideal choice for labs just getting started in digital dentistry, or for those that want to perform smaller, time-urgent jobs without tying up their larger production mills. So if those labs have already those really big mills, high production milling machines, and they just want to get another mill just to fill in those areas where there may be urgent jobs to complete, this is where they can go for a DWX4. However, this can also be used chairside as well if the clinician is interested in doing zirconia restorations or even hybrid ceramics. So for the Roland milling machines, wet or dry, you can mill hybrid ceramic material. So one of the few key features is compact size, ideal for any lab environment. It's capable of unattended 4-axis milling with simple one-button operation, and it has a precision milling of wax, zirconia, nanocomposites, and PMMA. Okay, so that is roughly what you can understand of the key features of the different of these milling machines. So to my next slide, let's look into Roland's history and to see where they came from and to where they are now. Okay, so what we can see is that Roland has started in 1972, and the Roland Corporation was founded by Ikutaro Kakehashi in Osaka on April 18th, 1972. So he was the founder of Roland, and this was their logo when they first started. And this is when they also introduced their first Roland branded product, the machine. It's a TR33, TR55, and TR77 rhythm. So as we know, Roland has a history in building and producing musical instruments. So that first machine, the TR55, was one of the first Roland products, and it is a compact rhythm box with excellent analog drum sounds. And in fact, the typical Roland analog sound and great feature is the balance knobs, which allows you to cancel the hi-hat sounds on every pattern or to mix them to the pattern as loud as you want. So that was one of the great things about when they first introduced the TR55. And then as we move on, in 1981, the Roland DG Corporation was established, and it was established in Osaka as a subsidiary of the Roland Corporation with the goal of expanding further upon a wealth of electronic music technology, beginning with the manufacture of electronic music instruments, and as well as going into the printing of their Roland machines where they do the 2D printing. So this is actually the TR55. This was their first product. It's very, very, very interesting, very old, very vintage. And then here they have their 2D printers. Okay, and then in the year of 2010, this is where Roland began and started to create their very first dental milling machine. And their first dental milling machine was called the DWX30. And the DWX30 is a dental milling machine, highly efficient, precision production tool for creating copings and crowns from zirconia. So it is a very, very early production of their dental millers. It had a lot of limitations in terms of the materials it can do, but at that time you were able to do zirconia restorations, wax on this DWX30. Previously, only large-scale labs could afford and the facility and equipment required to mill zirconia. So Roland had a great idea by introducing a dental milling machine that comes in at a very, very good affordable price point for labs to be able to take on the digital CAD/CAM in their dental laboratory. So this helped a lot of labs get started digitally. It is a 4-axis control, so not 5-axis, which is very common to see on nowadays on our Roland milling machines. So like the DWX52D is a 5-axis milling machine. So as we move on another 5 years, the company Roland then created its first wet mill, the DWX4W, and the new dry mill, the DWX51D. So in 2015, this is when these milling machines were actually released. Okay, and these milling machines were ideal for any lab just getting started in digital dentistry, or those labs with scanners who no longer wish to outsource production. So in 2015, Roland has given the opportunity for labs around the world to be able to stop outsourcing their production to giant labs, and to be able to start producing it in-house. So they managed to help to reduce the cost for labs outsourcing and allowed them to start doing it in-house. So we move on a year, and now we're at 2016, and this is where DGShape Corporation was formed. And it is a wholly owned subsidiary to develop and market the company's innovative 3D products, including the DWX mills and DWP 3D printer for the dental industry. So if not many of you know, actually Roland, they actually do 3D printers as well. But they have focused a lot of their R&D and time in their Roland DWX machines. So this is where DGShape, and this is up here, this is the DGShape logo. This is how you know that the DGShape is under the dental industry. Okay, so going next. So under DGShape, the machines that were released after they established DGShape is the DWX52D and the DCi, the DWX42W, and the DWX52D. So after 2016, this is what was released under DGShape. Okay, so to understand as well, the 5 that you see here is actually indicating that it's a 5-axis. The 4 that you see here is indicating it's a 4-axis. So for the wet millers and all the wet millers that Roland has produced, they are all 4-axis. For the dry millers that Roland has produced, they are all 5-axis, but some do come in a 4-axis as well, which is the smaller DWX4 that you saw earlier in the beginning of the slides. So these are the three millers that has been launched under DGShape. So under DGShape, the dental business materials. Yeah, so from the beginning all the way to today, how has Roland improved the materials that you can mill on their milling machines all the way to today with the latest milling machines? So in 2009, they had milling machines that was able to just mill wax pucks. Okay, then in 2011, they were able to start milling zirconia. That's probably when the DWX30 was launched. That's when they started to be able to use the zirconia milling. And then in 2013, their machines started to be able to mill composite resin. In 2015, they are able to do glass ceramics. And then as we come over to 2017, we can see that now the dentures are actually able to start milling in the DWX series of their milling machines. And now the latest and the most exciting as well is that in 2020, Roland has just launched and released a special kit in order for customers to mill titanium abutments in the DWX42W. So this is a great improvement to the DWX42W, as it has given a great advantage for its size and the price point to be able to start milling titanium abutments. And we will go over it and we will explain exactly all of these different abutments and how these different materials can be used on the different machines. Okay, so we're gonna first talk about the DWX52DCi. Okay, so what is there in the DWX52DCi? So the DWX52DCi comes with an automatic tool changer. It's able to load you're able to load 15 stations of tools, so you can have up to 15 tools inside the milling machine with a variety of diamond coated burrs, carbide burrs, or burrs directly from DGShape Roland, where you are able to mill hybrid tools. So you are able to put different tools into the milling machine, so as when you mill a different material, you do not cause any cross-contamination with the other materials. Okay, and this also will allow a continuous mill of jobs in the different materials, different shades of zirconia, without having to stop the production. So once you set it up in the cam, you are able to just leave it overnight and able to mill all the way through with all the different materials, and then you have it complete finished milling when you come in the next day. So the next thing is it also comes with an automatic disc changer. Okay, and this automatic disc changer allows you to load up to 6 materials into the adapter, which you can see it's on the left side here, with different shades of zirconia or any combination of material that suits you. So it could be wax in one of the racks, it could be a hybrid ceramic in the other, it could be zirconia in the other, and what you do is you tell your CAM software exactly which material is where, and that is how you will go ahead and set up all your millings so that you don't have to physically change the disc, take out the disc and reload the disc. So with the DCi, you're actually able to completely leave the milling machine to just mill all the way through. Okay, so the next thing we have is also an intelligent tool control. So what is this intelligent tool control? It's part of the simplified V-panel operation. So to those who don't understand what is V-panel, V-panel is the software that tells the Roland milling machine and to do your calibrations, and to also import the ANSI files that is created from your CAM software. So you need the V-panel to communicate with the DWX50, and that's included in the milling machine. So this is an intelligent tool function which helps to automatically swap out tools that have reached their lifespan. Okay, so what is great about this? So if you are milling halfway and your burr comes towards the end of its life, you don't have to worry about, you're not able to stop the machine. You have to leave it to mill and hope that it doesn't chip or break your crown margins, for example. What will actually happen is the machine will detect that it's reached its life, and then the machine itself will automatically remove that tool and pick up a new tool that has not been used yet. So this can help to reduce any human errors in terms of when maybe forgetting to change the burrs on time. So this milling machine, the software is able to help do this automatically for the dental technician. Okay, so the next thing that we also have is the DWX52DCi, or also the DC, is also a 5-axis milling machine. So it has a smooth and steady ball screw driven system. It provides superior milling results, simultaneously rotating and tilting discs for deep undercuts, and also milling large arch restorations and full mouth prosthetics. So with a 5-axis miller, you can do pretty much everything that we would have to do in the dental world for our restorations or RPDs or dentures or our implant bars. This is where 5-axis milling machines can do all of this. If you go for a 4-axis miller, you are definitely going to be limited in what restorations you can do. So if you want to be able to do if you want to do, example, screw retain crowns in implant cases, you definitely want to go for the 5-axis miller because of that extra axis. With the 4-axis, you do get some limitations in what you can do. Okay, so the next thing as well, it has an automatic air pressure control, and this is really great because it will automatically regulate, or it has an automated regulator that will eliminate the need for manual air control adjustment. So for example, when we mill, a zirconia material, our air pressure will be at a certain amount. But when we come over and we start to mill PMMA, you would have to then manually adjust and change the air pressure as well. So you have to always manually, and make sure you don't forget to change. If you do forget to change manually, you can have a lot of the material that will get clogged or stuck in the little fitting surfaces, and you could potentially break a burr, you could potentially break the restoration. So with this automatic air pressure control, it will follow all the material data from your CAM software. So if your CAM software can tell the Roland milling machine that it's a zirconia, then the DCi will be automatically change the air pressure to the zirconia, and same if it's wax or PMMA. So very, very nice feature. Okay, and the great thing about the Roland DWX series, and this is one thing which is why we found the Roland to be extremely user friendly, is the spindle, the user replaceable spindle. And the spindle is so easy to replace in the Roland milling machine. It only takes a matter of minutes. You don't have to call a technician. You don't have to spend unnecessary costs in getting a technician or having someone fly down just to change your spindle of your milling machine. There's no special tools required. There's no training or testing required for you to change it. It is very simple. It is very easy to do. You can order the spindle and you yourself can change it yourself by following a simple instruction video, and you can have your milling machine up and running again in a couple of minutes. So that is the great thing about the Roland system, as there are some milling machines where if you purchase it and you need to change the spindle, you can't change it yourself. You have to have someone come over, and you have to pay the extra cost for them to just change the spindle. So one of the great things with the Roland series, not only for the 52DCi, but majority of all their DWX series of milling machines, all can do this. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to talk about as well is the what makes it the DCi. So over here you can see what the DCi, or what they call it, is the DW index. And what this is, it's an intuitive software for added milling control. So if you are running a big production lab, this is exactly what you are going to want. So this features the new software that helps to enable users to plan, identify, and manage indexing operations. It offers data accumulation and analyzation for the following key features, such as operation time per tool, operation time per disk, operation time of the unit, day, week, or month, error logs, and the history of materials used, as well as history of deliverables. So this is what the software can actually do and provide if you go for the DCi version of the Roland. Okay, you can get the DWX disc changer without the eye. The eye is an added one. So if you don't want the eye, you can also still go with the DWX52DC disc changer as well. But this is what the software does. It is going to be really great for those labs very big operation, and they really want to calculate their cost per unit, how much time is it taking per unit. If you're doing a very high volume that does thousands of units in a day, this is definitely going to be the perfect software package that you can get for your lab, and you will be able to see that you can improve your production efficiency and overall success rates of your millable restorations and etc. Okay, so the next thing that we also have for the DWX52DCi is the optional accessories for maximized milling. Okay, and these are going to be the included pin adapter for holding up to 8 pin blocks. So these are, for example, the pin types. Okay, so this is included inside your DWX52DCi. Okay, it is also included a disc adapter rack, okay, that allows users to queue up and keep materials organized for an even more efficient workflow. We also have additional adapters for quick insertion and optimum workflow. Alright, and then you also get optional carbide, diamond, hybrid milling tools, diameters of 0.3, 0.6, 1 millimeter, 2 millimeter, so it's very flexible as well. And then of course it comes with the optional BOFA Dust Pro vacuum unit to remove material waste during the milling. So with the Roland, we actually do pair our milling machines with the BOFA, and we have found BOFA to be a very highly reliable vacuum unit that comes with almost very minimal maintenance of the vacuum, just the occasional of changing the bags and the HEPA filter. But besides that, the BOFA really just runs and runs like a workhorse. Just like how they call Roland a workhorse, the BOFA is also a workhorse as well, that can just keep running and producing. Okay, so the next thing we have is the additional features. Okay, and these additional features include 6 adapters which are included. Okay, the intelligent tool changer, 5-axis milling machine, a virtual machine panel, reduce dust and static when working with PMMA. So that is actually the ionizer. So the ionizer is actually something that's built into the milling machine that actually stops the static of those PMMA when you mill it, get stuck to the body of the inner body of your milling machine. So it's easier to clean up after the PMMA has been milled. So if you have a milling machine that has PMMA stuck all over it when you mill, it more than likely is because it does not have an ionizer built inside it. Okay, so the next thing as well is it is a clean milling environment because of that. The air pressure, which is controllable, and for the DWX52DCi, it does come with additional storage as well. Okay, so these are some of the interesting and nice features of the DWX52DCi. Okay, now the next thing that we're going to talk about, which has also been introduced to the Roland, is the time reduction kits. Okay, so this is a great introduction by Roland in order to find a way of how labs who would like to provide dentures, or labs who are already providing dentures, another cost-effective way in order to produce dentures with their milling machines. Right, so this will help to reduce the steps, it saves time, and it cuts costs. And this was introduced by Roland in actually June 19th of the 2019. So it was announced and launched about this reduction kits from DGShape. Okay, and what it does is it produces molded acrylic based on gypsum for the gypsum material disc. That is also for doing your stone models. You can actually pour stone and mill it out, or you can pour denture acrylic. Okay, for accurate milling of partials of even full denture bases as well. This can be used in the dry dental mills, so the DWX, the dry mills. You would not use this in their wet mills. Okay, and this is actually a patent pending TRK, which is time reduction kit. So they have a patent pending for it as well, which allows for in-house digital denture production that is simple and more consistent than analog processes. So it is important to take note as well that this kit can only be used for the 52D, the DWX52DC, and the DWX52DCi. Okay, so you will not be able to use this on the 42W or the DWX42W or the DWX4 or any other machine older than that. You will not be able to use this TRK or time reduction kits. So just take a look further as well. Okay, so this is the kits. So over here it starts with a mold, and then from a mold you will then pour the acrylic. So you can see they're pouring the acrylic into it, and then once the acrylic hardens, it will come out in a shape like that. And once that is done, you will be able to just manually fix it into the removable denture kit or the TRK holder as well. So you can put the denture right into here and put it into your milling machine, set up your CAM software, and you're able to start milling. Okay, so the removable denture kit reduces in-house finishing time for full dentures and partial dentures application. It comes at affordable material. It's an affordable material combined with precision denture milling for a more cost-effective and accurate solution. So we also have the TRK digital workflow saves time and cost when compared to traditional and 3D printing methods. So what they're saying about traditional is that you do not have to go through so much hassle of doing flasking and wax up, waxing, and a lot of the tedious, or what we would say the labor intensive work involved in producing dentures. With this kit or with the Roland milling machine, you are fine. You don't have to go through that. All you have to do is actually pour out the acrylic into here, cure it, and then you have the block that's out, and straight away you can start milling. So this is a very cost-effective and versatile materials. So example, milling standard discs, right? So previously, if you were to buy denture pucks off the shelf, they are pretty pricey. They're very expensive. So this is a very great cost-effective way of doing digital dentures with your milling unit. And the best part is when you pour out your denture, you can have veins in it. You can produce affordable acrylics, and they can be custom shaded to match the patient's natural tones. So you can mix and match the different acrylics together to get the exact gum tone to the patient's gum, so that there's less post-processing time. So you can create a really nice aesthetic denture using this denture kit from the Roland DWX for the DWX machines. Okay, so how is it done? It's in 3 easy steps. So first you would mix and pour. So measure self-curing or cold curing liquid. Pour the powder in a measuring cup, vibrate the mixture while pouring, and then add it into the denture base mold. That's it. Then the next step, you want to polymerize it. So place the mold in a pressure pot to polymerize, and then remove the cured material disc from the mold. That is the second step. And then the third step is to just put that mold that you have done, put the denture mold into the milling machine or into the TRK fixture, and place the fixture in a milling adapter to mill either a partial or full denture base on your DWX device. So in just this simple 1, 2, 3 steps, this is how you can start milling your dentures. So if you were unsure about how this actually worked, this is it. It's very simple. And if you're already a denture lab, or if you're already a lab that is used to acrylic, this is easier. Will be even easier for you, as then there will be less mess, less labor intensive than the traditional workflow. Okay, so next, the benefits. So you can design the dentures in DGShape. Okay, however, we have to say cost-effective and versatile materials. Alright, you save with cutting-edge design. So especially designed DGShape tool mills with efficiency, precision, and ease, while pre-shaped molds ensure minimal waste. So the way how they develop the mold is to also ensure that we don't waste as much material as possible. So we maximize the use of our materials. Okay, and then it's an easy post-production adjustment. So acrylic material offers quick reline and rebase processes for meeting patients' needs in less time. It also has a good benefit of long-lasting and increased strength. So other digital denture-based production methods offer short-term results, while the removable denture kit solution combines acrylic and monomer materials to produce strong long-term products. So for example, if we look at 3D printing, some materials from 3D printers, you can only use it for maybe 1 or 2 years and you would have to change it. Whereas with the Roland's solution, it is the same. You're using the same material that you would use traditionally. It's just that you are making a mold of it, you're milling it out, and then what it means is you can have a much longer lasting denture for that patient. So I'm just going to show a quick video, and this video is actually on the DWX52 DCi. Okay, and please enjoy. You can take a look and we will see what it's all about. Sorry, just one moment. We're not having any audio.
My name's Alan Jerem. The way that we use the digital technology to enhance that experience and that workflow is the beauty for digital dentistry in our facility and how we perform treatment for our patients. My name's Alan Jerem. I'm a digital dentist out of New York. I have been practicing in both the dental office and I practice in a dental laboratory where we combine the digital workflows so we can do whatever is best for our patients using the greatest tools available to us. On a typical day, we're using our DGShape milling machines in order to make our patient visits faster and more effective. And we also had the best results that we were seeing. And because of that consistency and the predictability of having a fantastic restoration be made for us, it's made it more profitable for us, and it's also allowed us to offer services that we could never in the past before. Some of the things that I'm so impressed and I love about the DWX42W is the fact that it has this new enhanced spindle. More heavy duty, which in turn equates to a faster mill time and a better restoration with better accuracy. We also have the ability to do Ethernet connectivity. This plugs into the central nervous system of our office and it allows easy integration and administration of the milling machine, which is so important for our team. One of the most important parts for us is the trusted connection between DGShape and our other trusted digital dentistry providers so that we can use the technology on a day-to-day basis and we can make sure that we can rely on it. One of the key things DGShape has done compared to some of the other competitors in the field is they've taken the process, which can be incredibly complex, and they've made it incredibly simple for us. And that simplicity equates to efficiency and equates to profitability for us. The heart and soul of our practice is our patients, and the experience that we can give the patients is so important. As we use DGShape milling products and DGShape milling systems in our office environment, we enhance that patient experience by interacting the patients with the milling machines. They see the restorations being made, they see the process, and really the patient takes that experience with them and knows that they are getting the best treatment possible in our environment. And it's incredibly exciting for us, especially for same-day dentistry. So as we combine the technology provided to us by DGShape, the support, the quality, and of course the patient experience is really what makes it work for us in our environment. It's fun, it's exciting, and it's the future of dentistry, and we do it every day.
Okay, so my mistake, that was on the DWX42W, but I actually skipped forward a little bit of the DWX52 DCi, but maybe we will jump back and we'll watch that video later. Okay, so now as you saw that video of how it benefited the doctor for using the DWX42W in his practice, now I'm going to explain a little bit more about what is the DWX42W about. So it's an incredibly accurate, high aesthetic restorations that you can be done. Example, glass ceramics as well as composite resin. So glass ceramics can help give consistent flexural strength, optimize fit, composite resins do come with superior margins and chip resistance. So depending on the doctor or the clinician or even the lab, they can use the wet miller, which is the 42W, in order to produce restorations. So we could see that glass ceramic over here is more like a lithium disilicate. And then you also have those composite resins from Vita Inamic or Shofu HC hybrid ceramic. Yep, those are also composite resins. Okay, so what can you do on the DWX42W? So on the DWX42W, you can do up to 3-unit bridges. Okay, for your lithium disilicate. You can do copings in the DWX42W. You can do crowns. You can also do inlays, you can do onlays, and you can do veneers. So you have the whole range of what you can do for your chairside miller in your dental clinic or in your practice. This is what you can use the 4-axis wet miller from Roland. You can do all of these indications. So this will definitely cover all of what you would normally do on a day-to-day basis as well. Patient comes in, needs some crowns done, you can do it chairside. If patient comes in and they need to do inlays or onlays, you can provide that chairside as well. So you bring a great excitement to the patient, and you bring a great comfort time as well as a better costing for the patient as well. Okay, so with the DWX42W, okay, from the previous wet miller, they have actually increased the machine to be 50% faster. So it's 50% faster than the DWX, the previous wet mill. Okay, the 4W, sorry. So the DWX4W was 50% slower, now it's 50% faster, and now the DWX42W comes with a newly designed nozzles and coolant tank for greater flow and capacity. Okay, they also come with a brand new burrs that offer greater stability and finer milling quality, a 6-station automatic tool changer for uninterrupted production, which means you can put up to 6 burrs in the machine at any given time. Okay, and its specially engineered dual filters require replacements of their filters less often, saving cost and time. So these are some of the elevated performances that has been brought to the DWX42W. Okay, a mill that fits your needs. So if you're a high production lab, the DWX42W, how is it going to benefit? Okay, you can expand production by adding a standalone wet milling option designed for glass ceramic and composite resin materials. If you are already doing a lot of dry milling, this is where a wet miller can definitely come in and benefit you. The next one that we have is you get the same open architecture, flexibility, and a high quality performance as DGShape dry mill. So there is no drop in quality or standards compared to the dry mill. The wet mill is just as high in quality of performance, and the only difference is that it is just in a wet mill configuration. Okay, and then the next thing as well for a high production lab is it offer on-demand production of high aesthetic dental prosthetics. So if you work with doctors that demand a high aesthetics, then this wet miller will definitely fit perfectly right into your dental laboratory. And if you are a dentist, okay, if you're a clinician or you're an in-house lab, how can this fit into those needs? So what it can offer is your patients the same day service with ultra accurate prosthetics that can be produced with an easy to operate machine and simplified workflow. So it's a very simple machine to use, and it's a very simple way to handle the machine. It's very straightforward. With just a button, you can start the machine, let it start going. Okay, again, the open architecture allows seamless integration with existing scanning devices. So it is important to take note that Roland milling machine is a full open system. It is not a closed system, it's an open system. That means when you buy a Roland, you can work with any CAD software, you can work with any CAM software. So you could work with like DreShape or Dental Wings. For your CAM software, you can work with GoToDental, or you can also work with Mailbox, for example, which This has been part of Roland as well, the Mailbox and Go-To Dental, which is a French software. So it being a complete open system, it allows you the ability to also be ahead of the game and to choose what's best for you during this current time and how you can have a good advantage over your other competitors in the market. So it can also enable the chairside restorations for you and your patients with a solution that integrates with your workflow and the needs of your business. So with a wet miller is perfect for your chairside restorations because you can mill it out and on the spot you just do some adjustments and you can have it sent to the dental clinic. So that is the great thing about the DWX42W. So if you are a clinician, this would be great. If you are a lab that wants to expand on what they can offer as offer restorations to their dentist, then the DWX42W, that's where it will come in, and it will be a great fit into your range of products that you can produce. Okay, so that's all about the DWX42W. Now I'm going to jump into the next thing that's even more exciting, and we call it the AK1. So what is this AK1? So this year in 2020, Roland has released that you are able to start milling your own customized abutments with your DWX42W, which is your wet dental mill. So if you are an existing user of the DWX42W, or if you are not yet a user of the DWX42W but you would like to do custom abutments, you don't have to spend a lot of money onto those high production, high expensive milling machines. If you want to get started, of course, if you want to get started at a good budget and a good cost, you can go for the DWX4W, as now you are able to start milling pre-milled titanium blanks. Okay, so what is this? So milling of titanium abutments from popular manufacturers such as Geomedi, Medentica, and NT Trading. So these three are the most popular and the most common manufacturers that do these pre-milled titanium abutments, and these are the fixtures for it. Okay, so these fixtures allows you to put their pre-milled blocks into it, so then you can mill. Okay, it also comes with a kit which includes specially developed accessories and tools that you can mill custom abutments in just 3 easy steps. So just like the denture kit that I explained earlier, this also has a very simple 3 steps of how you can actually use this kit. So this kit gives the ability for a low investment. Okay, so low investment. Alright, a low investment, low cost per unit. Clinicians and labs technicians have full control over design and materials from start to finish. So these are some of the benefits. Okay, and custom abutments provide more precise fit, greater aesthetics, especially in the anterior zone. Yeah, so it saves a lot of time and effort as well. And the DWX52W is compatible again with any CAD software. So your dental CAD software like DGShape. So like DGShape that we also provide and we resell as well, you can actually use this in your Roland milling machine as well. So in a single unit, you'll be looking at about 50 to 80 minutes per tooth, of course depending on the form. That's how fast you can mill a single custom abutment. So the 3 easy steps. Yeah, so the 3 easy steps we have here. So number 1, switch out the tray and replace the regular tank with the special AK1 titanium tank. So you have to remove your standard tray that comes with the milling machine, the DWX42W, and then you want to put in the AK1 titanium tray. After you've done that, you want to connect the AK1 material adapter to the work material holder. Okay, so this is the AK1 adapter, and it will actually connect to actually your already pin adapter that you have over there that comes with the milling machine. Okay, and then the third step is you just want to mill and complete, output your milling job, and that's it, you're done. So a very simple 1, 2, 3 steps of how you can use this this AK1 titanium milling attachment. Okay, so the material adapter attachment. So what are the three types that I explained earlier? So here we go. This is the Geo Medi. So this is the Geo CM Fit series. Okay, we have the AK1 ME, which is compatible with Medentica Pre-Phase series. And then we have as well the AK1 NT compatible with NT Trading, NT Preform series. So depending on the implant brand, or for example the material that you buy, you have the different fixtures. So all you have to do is buy these fixtures together with the AK1 fixture as well, and then you are actually able to do your titanium milling, so which is completely great. Yeah, so these kits are already readily available. So if anyone is interested in picking up this kit, or you already have a Roland miller and you want to try and pick up doing the denture kits, all of this is already ready available, and you can order at any time for these kits. Same for the milling machines, they're all already ready, so you can order them at any time, and then you will know exactly when you will be able to receive the milling unit. Okay, so some of the things that I would like to also talk about is the common maintenance of your Roland milling machine. Okay, so the common Roland maintenance, well, not really only for your Roland milling machine, but for all milling machines in the market. But for the Roland, what we have is collet maintenance, and what that collet maintenance is also retightening the collet. So we always have to make sure that the collet is free of debris, free of oil, free of PMMA or zirconia powders. You know, we want to clean it away. We want to use this grease in order to grease up the parts to make sure that they don't jam. Retightening the collet. So what happens is the part that holds your milling burr can actually start to loosen up over time. And when it does start to loosen up over time, you want to retighten that collet so that it will tighten its grip on the burr, so that when you're milling, it does not skip. You know, it does not skip, or it doesn't have vibrations, which can cause problems to your spindle itself. It can also cause your restorations to chip or break. So another thing as well is maintaining your tools as well. So always ensuring that you update your tools, you change your tools to the latest tools. Okay, and when you use your tools for the dry mills, you will use a tool like this. This is your ball nose. Okay, you can use ball nose and you can use end mill in your milling machines. Okay, and you will use an adapter in order to position and place the burr exactly according to the holder that is given by the Roland milling machines. So attaching your tools, updating your tools, these are some of the common maintenance for the Roland milling machine. When you have a DWX42W, you have an extra step. So you actually have to use a coolant for your DWX42W. But the great thing is if you pops up a notification like this, okay, in your Windows computer, the V panel, which is the software for the Roland DWX42W, will actually notify you and remind you that the coolant needs to be replaced. So this will help maintain the life of your machine. This will help to prevent any human errors of forgetting to change the coolant. The software or the machine will automatically help to update and inform the user that they need to change the coolant. Okay, so replacing the coolant. So these are some of the regular maintenance that you'd have to do with your Roland milling machine. Another one as well is the correcting the milling machine, or as we call it, the calibration. Yeah, so every time you have to calibrate? No, you don't have to calibrate every single time. But you want to calibrate your milling machine maybe every month or every 2 months. And it really depends on how much you are milling. If you are milling non-stop every day, in a whole month, then we would recommend, doing a calibration once a month, at least the minimum. Calibrating more is better than not calibrating or calibrating too far apart. And if you don't calibrate your machines regularly, what you will notice is that the crowns that you mill out are not the correct size or the correct dimension. They are also not fitting well on the patient, or they're not fitting well on the die. This is where you really need to calibrate your machine. Okay, so if you have a Roland DWX series, please remember to do these common maintenance of your Roland machine. Or if you are not familiar, please reach out to us and we'll be able to help you and guide you and teach you exactly how to do the milling of how to do the calibration or tightening your collet, replacing your spindle, how do you attach your tools, replacing your coolant. This is everything that we are actually able to do, as we are now also the sole distributors for exclusive distributors for Roland DGShape in Malaysia. So we are always more than happy to support any customers, whether you bought from us or not. We will be more than happy to support any customers in Malaysia, so that you guys will have less downtime of your milling machines, and that you have more uptime, more production, more producing more of your crowns, and of course, if you know, more money comes in too. Yeah. Okay, so this is pretty much the end of the Roland overview. Now we're going to move over to the questions and answers. So if any of you have questions or answers, please feel free to ask me, and I will also take a look to see if there has been any questions asked. So give me a moment. So it looks like we had one viewer that has asked a question over here, and it looks like they're asking about, can you purchase DGShape time reduction kits in Malaysia? Yes, definitely you can purchase DGShape time reduction kits in Malaysia, just as we have explained earlier. It's ready available, so if you are interested, please get in contact with us. You can drop us an email, or you can give us a call to any of our sales representative, or you can drop us a message on Facebook, social media, and we'll be able to help assist you through that. So yes, it's readily available. So another question that we have here as well is, does Roland produce a 2-in-1 milling machine? So yeah, a frequently asked question. Yes, definitely. So a lot of customers, they do ask, does Roland produce a milling machine that's 2-in-1? And what they mean by 2-in-1, I assume, is a wet and dry in one system. So if you notice, with the Roland DWX series, you notice that the wet is wet and the dry is dry. They are separated. And there's a very big reason for that. When you mix a wet and dry system together, they become more expensive. Maintenance also becomes higher. So in order to make Roland competitive and as well as easy for the user, they separated the wet and dry mills. And most of the time, if you buy a Roland's wet and dry mill together, it's probably cheaper than also buying a milling machine that is wet and dry. And the reason why also Roland separates the wet and dry is, if you're milling your dry machine, your wet machine can be milled at any time. But if you purchase a machine that is wet and dry at the same time, if you're milling dry, you're gonna have to wait until it's done before you can mill the wet. And before you transition to wet or dry, you have to make sure you clean the machine properly, as to not to create any cross-contamination. Yeah, so what else do we have? So what sort of specs does DGShape millers require? So I believe specs, for the compressor. Okay, so they were asking for the compressor. What compressors is needed? So for example, we could say the DWX52D, you would be using a pressure of about 0.02 to 0.2 MPa. So that's the pressure. Okay, you want to be able to ensure that the compressor can do up to that. And you of course definitely want a compressor that has a big enough size to keep the air pressure continuous. You don't want to have a compressor that's too small and that's continuously pumping pop, 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 pop. You want to have a compressor that, you know, after it's filled up full, it's able to to give continuous airflow, as that would be the best. Okay, then for example for the DWX42W, the pressure it's going to need is a 0.18 to about 0.22 MPa, I believe. Okay, and the air capacity, you're looking at about 114 liters per minute. And even for the 42W, you're looking at a tank capacity of at least 33 liters for the for the 42W. So a compressor of about 33 liters. So something similar for your 52D and your 52DCi. You know, you'll be looking for something as well with a compressor of about 33 liters as well. So let's see if we have any more questions as well. I think if there's no more questions, then I believe that's it. We are done today. But what I'm going to do is, before I sign off, I'm actually going to play the DWX52DCi video. So if you guys want to watch and enjoy it, please stick around and enjoy the DCi video by Peter Cattle. Okay, so he'll explain and he'll show you exactly the process. So thanks to DGShape UK for having this video. I'm gonna play now. Okay, so enjoy the video.
So we have our 14mm wax disc and the correct adapter, adapter A. Place your material in the adapter and then the adapter ring. Now there's two ways you can put this on. My recommendation is shiny side up with the hooks facing this way round, because what you're going to do, as you tighten this up, it'll pull the hooks in tight to the screw. Can you hear that? So this is a torque set ratchet. So it will tighten to exactly the right tension. Now let's put it in the machine. So the scanner is going to read the barcode here. So just make sure that the letter is the correct way around. And place it into an empty slot. The software prompted us for the location of the tools that we're going to use. So you'll see they are numbered by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and onwards. So let's just take a look at one of these tools. This is base 6. This is the 2mm ball tool. Now when you order the tools, they'll come without this collar. So we need to put this collar on. Now obviously that can be placed anywhere on the tool, so we use a setting block, and that allows you to ensure that you're locating the collar within the range of the tool. And all we're looking for is the tip of that tool to be somewhere within this clear window here. And what the machine's going to do, it's going to measure the length of this automatically. Now everything is set. Let's press output. The DWX is now scanning the barcodes. As this is the first job of the day, it's going to check every adapter. It's now picking up adapter A. Now the mic will be picking up a lot more noise now because the extraction unit will come on automatically with the beginning of the machine moving, and also the compressor will need to recharge at certain times. So the first thing that's happened is the spindle has come down, it's touched on the sensor to make sure there is no tool stuck. It's now moved to base 6. It's collected the 2mm tool, which is the roughing tool. It's now going back to the sensor at the back, and it's checking the length of that tool. And as you can see, it's started to mill. Now, of course, the thickness of discs does vary very slightly, so you'll notice that the first cut actually didn't touch the surface, it just kissed it on that occasion. Now you're beginning to see the swarf come away as it starts to cut in more. And this is real-time milling speed. It's rotated the disc now so it can cut from the other side. Notice the direction of flow of the swarf. There is an air blower blowing down onto the tool, and then the extraction is pulling the material out of the cavity of the wax. So it's checking to see whether the tool is intact. It's now going to return it to the bay. And it's going to check with the sensor again to make sure the tool has been released correctly. Now it's ready to pick up the 1mm tool. Again, it needs to check the length of the 1mm tool. Now we can see the simultaneous 5-axis movement. Now you can see the 0.6 tool finishing off some of the fine detail. And finally the incredibly small 0.3 tool. Before collecting the adapter, the machine will blow the air across the disc to try and remove as much waste material as possible. Then the adapter is collected and returned to the magazine. And now we can just have a closer look at the results. Built for 24-hour productivity from a wide range of materials, offering an even wider range of applications. The possibilities are endless.
And that's it for today's live stream. Just want to say thanks to all of you who are able to watch it live. But please don't be afraid. Feel free whenever you can, ask us a question. We will always be more than happy to entertain any questions that you may have. Do send it to us. We will get in contact with you after this live stream. And then also, if there is anything that you would like to follow up with, please follow us on our social media as well, so you can be ready to watch more of our live streams that we are going to be doing in the future. And so if you are also interested, if you're not able to join any of our live streams, don't worry about it, as all our live streams will be uploaded again after a couple of minutes, and it will be a recording of our entire live stream. So don't be afraid if you have missed our live stream, you will still be able to watch it back again on any of our Bio3D Facebook, our BioLearn or Biodynamics webpage. You will be able to find all of our live streams on the different social media platforms. So thank you very much, and I would like to say good night and have a great day. Bye bye.